Hi. Thank you so much for coming for this talk. Today, I'm going to talk about how to build the main topic that I was going to present today was how to build AI apps with Postgres. But when I was doing that, I just got an idea what app can I build? I come from Bay Area and then I just love hiking. And whenever I just I just try to search nice hiking spots near me, it's always a trouble to find different keywords. So I was like, I want to show how Postgres can help with this use case. So that's where I got that. Okay, let me just build a hiking trail app for this presentation. So that's what I have done today. So a little bit about me. I actually graduated from Portland State University, and the photo that you see is right from this park. I graduated last year. I did my master's in computer science, and after that, I started working as a PM at Microsoft. Before that, I have been working with databases. I started at Oracle as a software engineer, and then I did my another job at Quantify. But yeah, I'm very passionate about hiking. I love to cook and I love to travel. So yeah, that's where my hiking app idea came from. So here's what we are going to do today. We are going to first understand what is this app all about. Then we are also going to understand why would we use Postgres. Then we'll understand what was the process that I followed for data collection or like what are different search techniques in Postgres. Then we are also going to understand what are vectors, what is RAG, and then I just have prepared a short demo. Okay, so before that, since it's about Postgres, let's understand why would someone use Postgres. It's it's one of the most loved databases in the developers community. Uh, in a recent uh, in a recent survey that was out by Stack Overflow in 2025, Postgres is one of the most used databases amongst the developer community, and there are several reasons for that. One of the main reasons being its rich extension support and how open source community releases new features for Postgres, and it's also extensible. Its support for AI applications and different AI use cases. So when PG Vector came out, that's where it all started, and it's been going really well. It supports all types of data, like be it JSON, be it location related data, which is geospatial data, just name it, and all those are supported there. You don't need to apply any data transformation or anything on top of it. You can just ingest that data. That is something that is really cool. So this is my app that I have built. So you can just ask a question, which I have asked here, that tell me best hiking trails in San Francisco. And you can also use different keywords like, okay, tell me give me some of the hiking trails in San Francisco that have ocean view, or give me some of the hiking trails in San Francisco that have free parking or something like that. So this is what I have tried to build, and I have used React on the front end, Flask on the back end, and yes, Postgres as my preferred database. And I have also used, because I wanted to show how to use AI vector embeddings, I have used OpenAI's model for like summarizing the text together. And I wanted to prepare this data, which I was not able to find, so I use Google Places API. Yeah, so I was having a lot of trouble to find the right data set when I started to think about this problem. So I just thought that I wanted reviews from like the hiking trails that people must have gone to, and I also wanted to have the address, exact address. So that's where, while I was searching, I came with the Google Places API. So that's what I have used. Again, like what I did was I just used the Google Apps API, and then I filtered it out based on the location. I have just filtered out the San Francisco location, and there I have stored the address, then the name of trails, the reviews, and because review there were a lot of reviews, I just kept top three ones, just limited to this app, And then I have just ingested all of that. I have transformed it using pandas, and then I have saved it into a CSV file. Yeah, so once this data is stored in Postgres, what are different search techniques that are there in Postgres? So one of them is I-like. So whenever you perform a search with I-like, what happens is it tries to find the exact keyword. Like you can use percent or like underscore. Whenever you use percent, it tries to see if that word is present in that sentence. For example, here I have tried to search that please find, like basically I wanted to find trails in Fremont and which has sunset. So it will try to find exact word in those reviews, and that is how it will give me those results. So if I run this query, I still get two results. But let's say if I search something like give me scenic and nice views for like sunsets and sunrise, but if both of those are not there in those reviews, then it might not give me those results. So that's where it fails. The other search which is very powerful is full text search. So basically what it would do is it would go beyond your I-like search, but it will just convert it into the words that are there in dictionary, and it would store that with TS vector, and then it would use @ operator to try and see if those letters or those words are somehow there. But again, it will try to find if the exact word or if the exact letter is there in that reviews, or address would still work, but yeah, for reviews or like to get something which is semantic, it will still struggle a bit. So yeah, why would these normal search techniques fail, right? That is something that we all must be thinking here. So it would just give you partial search results. It would not give you the entire output, or like it will not give you overall view of the trails, or like it won't give you the exact trails that you want. It will struggle on that part. So that's where vectors come into picture. So in Postgres, you have something called as PG vector. So you can enable that extension, and then it can help you to give semantic searches for your query. For example, if you see here, great view of waterfall is also like it's semantically equal to like scenic trail or like something like that. So it will help you to give semantic meaning of that, and then you can power it with your AI chatbot or anything, and then it can help you to build that AI application. But I have talked a little bit about vectors, so let's understand what are vectors. So vectors are nothing but like you give a word and there will be a numerical representation for that word in a dimensional space. So sunset can be represented as what I have shown in the example, and it gets represented in a in some dimensional space. And the thing about whenever you perform these vector searches, there are different similarity searches that can be run on top of it. So if you search for dog in your vector similarity search, words that are similar to dog, those might come into results. So that's where this vector, the search with vectors help. Now, how would you generate vectors? So there are different pre-trained models that can be used to generate these vectors. One of them is word2vec or glove, or there is also something called as sentence transformers, which I have used to generate those vectors. And also like fast text. But on Hugging Face, you have like a good view of what are like top models, because they keep changing each and every day. So you get to see what are like different top models that can be used for generating vectors. And if you want to see how vectors look like, so there is this website on TensorFlow, wherein like if you type a word, you'll get to see over here I have typed sunset, so you'll see what are like different words which are similar to sunset. Basically, it will help you to visualize what are words that are similar to those to the word that you have given. Now, why do vectors win, right? As I said, that it basically helps you to give meaning to your query. Like if you search something like ocean or like scenic, even if that word is not there in your reviews, it will give you the most similar result that you have in your reviews. And it's just ideal for these AI powered applications, right? Wherein like we don't know if that exact data is there in your data set, but at the same time, you know that you can give similar results and you can run some similarity searches. And how does vectors and how does Postgres handle it like seamlessly because of the support of like these PG vector extension, and you don't need any external vector database like Llama Index or like LangChain or like Pinecone or anything. You can just use this and it will work in Postgres. So how would you generate vectors? So you have a raw data. In my case, I have the raw data that I have is address, names, reviews. So I have converted address and reviews into like the vectors. I have applied a deep learning model on top of that, and it has generated vectors in a different column. And then I have just altered my table and added those vector columns. And that is how I have generated vectors for my data set. I also wanted to touch a little bit on RAG, although I have not included it in my application. But if I want to improve accuracy of my application to make sure that it understands correct context of what I'm telling, we can use something called as RAG, wherein like you try and give context using some documents. So basically, like you have your data that is stored in your database or like vector store, but in this case it is stored in your database, but you want to give it more additional context on like if at all I'm working on some internal application which requires some context from documents. That's where RAG would come into play. And you can use these RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation framework, to store those database. Basically, if you have a very big document, you can break it down into small documents, and then that is how you can give context to your LLM, and then that is how your LLM would get trained. So what is this RAG process flow, right? So you have your data, then you divide it into like smaller chunks, and then you give your prompt, and then you also add some context, and then you pass it to your LLM, and that is how it will give you the correct output. For example, if I just go and like ask ChatGPT some random question about, let's say if I ask something related to PSU, which just got updated today, like how many students are enrolled in PSU, and let's say today is the day when students are getting enrolled, and it might not have the correct answer for that. That's when this RAG would come into picture, wherein like I will give it additional context, I would insert some additional documents, and that is how it will help me give correct result. It will help me summarize the correct answer. So I am just going to go over the demo, but before that, I just wanted to give a overall view of like what I did to ingest this data into Postgres and how I used the LLM. So basically, I collected the data using APIs. I used Google Maps API and then gathered the trail name, address, rating, and like top reviews. And then I just did some sort of cleaning. Basically, I just wanted to extract these columns because there were many columns in that Google Maps API. And then I just created a Postgres table into Postgres, and then I just ingested that data, and then I added vector search on top of that, and then I inserted that data into Postgres. So here is a quick demo. I'll also show a quick demo of my app. So this is my hiking trail chat. So I'm just trying to ask a question telling that just give me some hikes that have ocean view, and also it should also have I forgot the question, but because I recorded the demo a few days ago, and yeah, and also some sunset view. So this is how I'll ask the question, and in San Francisco, because I just have data limited to Bay Area, so that's what I have asked, and it has given me those trails, and I have actually been to one of those trails, and it does have sunset and like ocean view. And this is also a short demo of my app that I have built. So basically, like there is a front end file which is built with React, which is in the below folder, and then this is my React app, And then I think there is also one, so this is my backend, wherein like you would see different queries that have been written in Postgres, and how the data is ingested, and how the connection goes to those routes. Whenever I enter on chat button, or whenever I enter on get trails button, how does that work? And yeah, I think I have just given top 5 results, but yeah, depending on your requirement, you can just do that. And this is the similarity search that Vector runs in Postgres, wherein like you can just give the results of like top 5 which are like very similar to your application. um, I can also show the demo in the app, but yeah, I'll just stop here and see if anyone has any questions. Okay. Thank you so much for patiently listening to my talk and attending this session. But yeah, thank you so much.